I proudly served at the Samuel Gompers Middle School. Where my dogs at? I was privileged enough to work with 16 other amazing individuals who were patient with me, supported me, and challenged me to work hard and get better every day. I am honored and humbled to represent this group and present a piece of our year. We served in 17 schools, each with unique stories of success and struggle. Still, I know some things hold true for all of us, and those are the things that make this experience special. Let me give you a snapshot of my class. This may sound familiar. Michael raises his hand and calls out my name. As I approach, I wonder, what is he going to ask? He looks up at me and says, I don't understand the question. I ask, which one? He points, this one. Like many of you, I now stand over a student who looks up at me with a blank stare, a blank piece of paper, and no idea where to start. I didn't realize it right away, but the approach to helping these students was the same one I took with my problems. Regardless of the problem, I would start with a question and keep asking until I saw the light bulb go off for them. Michael, how many times does 2 go into 8? A blank stare. Okay, if I have 8 goldfish, how many groups of 2 can I make? Still, a blank stare. So I take the pencil and make 8 tally marks and ask, how many groups of 2 can you make? Some days, that was the winning question. Other days, just a blank stare. At this point, I did what they tell you not to do. I took the pencil and started working out the problem while narrating what I was doing and hoping it would sink in. Not the best approach. See, I couldn't give students my roadmap to solving the problem. I needed them to make a roadmap that was unique to their minds. The questions did that, as long as I learned how to start small and build to the big idea. Now, when my students ask themselves those questions instead of me, they learn to ask another question and another until they follow their own path to the answer. Division may only be the first step in a problem that has 3 more until you reach the final answer. The key to each step is asking the questions that guide the way and illuminate a path to understanding. This year left me with far more questions than answers, but I'm okay with that. When I reflect on my experience, I ask, why isn't it easy to point to my class and tell you how I turned all of their lives around? Why is it difficult to point to Gompers Middle School and tell you for certain that the environment changed because of my team? Those questions made me feel inadequate and wonder whether I had any success at all this year. But we can't ask, why didn't our students suddenly value their education above everything else? Rather, the question we should all be asking is, how have they made progress towards educational success? When I ask that question, my impact is illuminated. Michael started the year asking questions, but they were always the same. Mr. Reco, why do we have to do work in math class? Mr. Reco, why won't you leave me alone? I told Michael he needed to focus on his work, pay attention to his teacher, and I was there if he didn't understand. One day after being suspended for misbehavior, Michael asked me a new question, but he only asked it once. Mr. Reco, can you teach me how to divide? That was a winning question. Michael still has his lazy days, but he went from failing to passing his math class. How many of you have similar stories? We may not be able to see it now, but we did help all of our students towards educational success. The people I admire most are the ones who never stopped asking me the tough questions. Thank you to everyone who has come before and will come after for doing this work. Thank you to my Corps for working hard this year and everyone who supported us in our inquiry. Let me ask you this. What path are you going to take in life? I know for me, there is a fire that burns every time I step foot in a classroom. Michael was the spark. I can see myself as a teacher for the rest of my life. That may not be the case for all of you. We have future doctors, lawyers, and businessmen and women among us. But this year will affect those lives too. What will illuminate your path? That's a winning question. Thank you.